the Lakers have signed DeAndre Ayton. And I think it's pretty obvious what's taking place. You heard Brian Windhorst earlier today on ESPN saying, look, I started with the never, and now it's LeBron James is in an expiring contract. And an expiring contract is something that's very valuable to people in the trade market. And he's like, I'm not going to say never. Now is, if it's ever going to happen, like, this is the year, this is the window, this is the time. And I don't know, the whole thing strikes me as super odd. Obviously, some of my comments early in the week went a little bit viral. And now you see what the Lakers are doing in acquiring DeAndre Ayton. They need a big guy. DeAndre Ayton is very good off pick and roll. Now, I don't actually think he fits their needs, other than the fact he is big, he can score. He's not a great rim protector. He's not a lob guy at the rim. It doesn't mean he's not effective, but he also has had his troubles defensively and in the playoffs and some attitude, motivational things, but they're trying to find the right fit for Luka Doncic. And this is a little bit like why Cam Newton couldn't still be in the NFL. This is a lot like why Allen Iverson really, really struggled when he went to the Denver Nuggets to play with Carmelo Anthony. You know, when you're so used to being the guy for so long, when you're not, you don't know what to do with yourself. Right? And remember, you go back the last couple years, and LeBron James, really smart in that he would let Austin Reeves and others like go and try and get buckets in different times which he could rest. He seemed okay with that. He doesn't seem okay with this. Because in order to make Luka successful, Luka's got to have the ball a ton, and he's got to determine everything. And the only conclusion you can come to is that LeBron was cool with other guys taking shots, with other guys making plays, if it was based upon a plan that he had okayed. Now it's nobody goes to him and asks him, and they're just doing things on their own, and he's not okay with it. He's not okay with it. It's a fascinating thing to watch, where if you really wanted to play somewhere else and you really wanted to win a championship, you did not have to pick up your player option. And you can tell me all you want about, wow, LeBron James should never play for less money. Hey, you are what the market will bear. Right? If you don't think LeBron James could have gotten $53 million out in the open market, then the league is telling you what I'm telling you, which is he's not a top 10, top 15, top 20 player. I'm not saying it. The league is, and frankly, LeBron and Rich Paul is, and damn sure the LA Lakers are. And I think the thing about it that I can, and maybe you can understand, okay, if you have been through a long-term relationship, you don't have to have been married, okay, you can cohabitate with somebody. Some people have kids with people that they don't marry. Maybe it's just a long-term boyfriend, girlfriend, and then there's ultimately a breakup, right? This is my personal belief, and some of it comes through time in therapy. Some of it comes through just having some perspective, stepping away, realizing what went right, what went wrong. We hold, there's little things that we hold against even people we care about, people we love. And at the time, we dismiss it, and we're like, it's part of what makes them them. But then when the relationship sours, it's like a combination of all of those things have caused us to not have the same feelings about each other. And all of those bad times seem to pop back into some people's memories, and they're like, aha, again, I'll give you the Lakers. Right? For LeBron, he's sitting there going, hey, man, I won you a title. Hey, man, I set the all-time scoring mark. Place is full. I'm still getting buckets and winning games with a myriad of coaches. You know, we don't spend a ton of money on a bunch of other stuff the way that even the Clippers do. We don't have a brand new arena. We have a nice practice facility, but it's not like state of the art. It's not like you guys go crazy for things. And, you know, our teams are competitive when I've been healthy. And I was the one who turned Anthony Davis into a championship player, whereas previously Anthony Davis always breaking down. You know, LeBron, in his mind, he's like, I'm LeBron James. I am the system. When you're the Lakers, you sit there and go, well, okay, you've gotten hurt 5 out of the 7 years and haven't finished the season. There was the time in which you showed up drunk to a game with a goblet of wine sitting on the bench, and you kind of embarrassed yourself, and it was really awkward, right? We've changed out coaches because you tuned them out. Remember the time which we were going to go get DeMar DeRozan? Yeah, you were the one that said you wanted Russell Westbrook instead, and we had to overpay to get Russell Westbrook, and that relationship ended in terms of quality relationship like 2 months into the season. You were done with him. Remember the time in which you made us draft Bronny James and then made us say all these nice things about Bronny James, and then we turned our G League team into like an AAU team just made for Bronny to take all the shots and make all the plays. Then we played him on the big club when there's no reason he should have been playing on the big club. Remember that? In and of itself, like, you let guys get, it's LeBron. But then when LeBron no longer wants to participate because the team is no longer crafted with him at the top of the org chart, now all those other things come back into play. All those other little things that you hold against LeBron James, which, you know, again, people in the organization, I know a lot of people that they were staunch defenders of LeBron and still are on some level, as you have no idea. This guy practices hard. This guy is precise with what he puts in his body. You know, the guys who are his guys, he leads and he gets them in the gym and he works out. And, you know, he really is about the right things. He wants to study film. He wants to know the answers to the questions before they appear on the nightly game test. But now you talk to those same people and they're like, dude, he only wants to work out by himself. You know, he has this small circle that's getting smaller. No one can say anything bad about Bronny. Can't treat him like he's a regular rookie in the NBA. He wants his guys. You trade away Anthony Davis and he freaks out. His management team constantly trying to control things. Feels headed for divorce. It does. It does. Now, the important thing about being headed for divorce in a basketball sense is this. It doesn't mean they won't put a statue up front. They've done it with Shaq. And if you remember how Shaq's career as a Laker ended, it was not well. You know, he's yelling at Jerry Buss while running down the court that he won a new contract, and then they traded him. I mean, Shaq went and played for the Celtics, which to me is sacrilege if you're a Laker, if you're a tried and true Laker. But they acquiesced, and Shaq still historic Laker, 3 championships, put a statue out in front. It doesn't mean there won't be a statue of LeBron. It doesn't mean they won't hang his number up in the rafters. Why wouldn't they? But, yeah, there's going to be a period of like 5 years where it's not great between LeBron and the Lakers after what happens in a divorce. And that divorce may happen before the season starts. May happen mid-season. It may not happen until after the season. Right? But this is a fascinating end to a relationship which is, it's like anybody, it's their third marriage, right? Lakers, we've had a bunch of superstars come here before to mixed results. But once you get here, you want to become a Laker. If you stay here for 7 years, this will be his 8th season.